All right, so you're watching this video and you are getting ready to launch your woodworking business. And there are so many different things that you could be doing. There's so many different things you could be focusing on. And in this video, I'm gonna give you the 5 essential things that you need to determine before you launch your woodworking business. Let's dive in. All right, well, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the show. Hey, by the way, in case you do not know, all of this content and plus about 85 other episodes are on our podcast, the Handmade Business Secrets podcast. You can find that on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And if you are in the shop, you're driving up and down the road, then you're gonna wanna go check that out. That's gonna be super helpful for you on your journey to growing your woodworking business. So in this video today, I wanna talk to you really about the 5 essential things that you need to determine when you are starting your woodworking business. Listen, there are so many things to do. And I'll never forget the first time I didn't get up and I didn't go to work for somebody else. I got up and I was at my house and I was like, okay, I'm starting my woodworking business. What am I supposed to work on? Well, there's 100 things you could work on, right? And nobody's there to guide you or tell you what to do. That's hopefully one thing that I can help you with in this video is most people, like I remember I immediately started working on getting business cards. I started working on coming up with a logo, getting a business bank account. And let me just say, none of those things are the wrong things necessarily or bad things to be working on. But the number one thing that your business needs, if you're going to be serious about it, is it needs revenue. So you need to look at what are the things that are going to actually move the needle in my life and in my business. Because let's say, for example, that you took the leap, you quit your full-time job and you're starting this woodworking business. Hopefully you don't do it as dumb as I did it, which is exactly what I did. Hopefully you grow this thing as a side hustle until it outpaces your day job income and then you can take it on. I didn't do that. I just launched off brand new, didn't know anything, quit my job, went after it, and I failed miserably. And I believe part of the reason was because I didn't do what I'm about to tell you today. There are lots of moves you can make. You can do logo, you can do business bank account, cards, you can go knock doors and shake hands, you can do all those things, but I want to give you a really strategic viewpoint of what you should do. So number one, who are you going to serve with your products? You need to determine who you're going to serve. You need to have a really clear idea of who your ideal client is. For us at Iron by Iron Woodworks, we build primarily residential dining tables, benches, and chairs. We're going to start introducing some more products this year, but that's primarily what we build. And as a result of that, we primarily deal with women between the ages of 25 and 55 that are married, that have kids or grandkids, that have some sort of faith, and that also love stores like Restoration Hardware, Pottery Barn, IKEA, Home and Garden Magazine. They like HGTV, Fixer Upper. Those are the types of interests that they have. You have to be super clear around who are you going to serve? What market are you going to serve? And then you need to understand, how do I communicate with that market? Because listen, I'm a dude. I'm a guy's guy. I like to hunt, fish, lift weights, run, work out, play golf, shoot my bow. And the reality is if I communicated from my business to these women the way that I communicate in general, they're not going to be very interested. I need to speak their language. The brand, Iron by Iron Woodworks, needs to be a feminine brand that's dealing with 95% females. The second thing that you need to determine after you've basically determined your market and the people that you're going to serve is you need to identify gaps in that market. You need to look at and say like, okay, I'm entering the furniture market and I'm serving this population of people. What are all of my competitors missing? When I go and I read bad reviews on my competitors, what are the bad reviews about? Is it about lead times? Is it about communication, quality? What are the things that I can do to fill the gaps? Once you've identified areas that might be a big problem inside the industry, you want to fill those gaps. You can make money as a woodworking business without having gone through this process, and you can take a little bit of the market share from the guy down the street. But if you can really get thorough in this process and figure out what are the giant gaps in the industry, what are the things that nobody's offering, or what are the things that the problems that nobody else is solving, and you can figure out how to solve that, you can make millions of dollars. This is worth your time. It requires a lot of brain power, but it's worth your time determining what are the gaps in the market and then how can I fill those gaps. That's one thing that we've kind of done inside the Woodworking Business Accelerator program, is that we're finding lots of woodworkers across the country are trying to scale, trying to grow, and they maybe don't know how to market, don't know how to sell. What they used to do is they would just go to an advertising agency and ask advertising agency to run ads for them, which would work. But then now they have all these sales, they don't know how to scale a team or scale the back end of their operations. So as the Woodworking Business Accelerator program, and me and my team, we come in and we help you do all that. So we're basically a one-stop shop for woodworking business growth. And so we've seen astronomical growth as a result of that as well. So we found a unique problem, found a way to solve it, and fill the gap. Okay, so number 4, this is probably the most important thing, is you have to figure out how to get in front of that market consistently. consistently. And so for me, for example, my market, I know who they are. Like I said, it's women between 25 and 55 years old. I know what they're interested in. I know how they communicate, the things that they love and the things that they hate. I also know where they are. They are on Facebook. That age demographic primarily is still using Facebook. Some of them use Instagram. That's where I get in front of them, is because I don't go to bingo night to try to sell tables, because 80-year-old women that play bingo are not the ones buying my tables, right? It's the women that are on Facebook that work day jobs, that might be stay-at-home moms. They are upper middle class or wealthy. And so that is how I get in front of them. So you have to have a plan and a strategy to get in front of your market consistently. And just hear me out. If you don't know how to do that, you have to know how to do that, or you have to hire somebody that knows how to do that. Otherwise, you are gambling every single month with your revenue. Every single day I talk to people. I talk to woodworking business owners, and everybody tells me that all of a sudden, I don't know why, but we just don't have any sales. I'm like, okay, well, how are you getting the sales that you get? Well, word of mouth. And I say this all the time, word of mouth is a great thing. You should want word of mouth business, but you cannot trust word of mouth. You cannot trust that every single month, X amount of your previous clients are going to tell X amount of more people about your products. You can't guarantee that. You can't bet on that. But what I can bet on is that if I spend this money in marketing, I'm going to get in front of this many people. Like, you can guarantee that, and it gives you predictability inside your business. And this is one of the most foundational things I can tell anybody that's trying to really start or scale a business, okay? Number 5, this kind of all ties in together, but you need to figure out how to communicate with that market and sell to that market. I mentioned this earlier, but you got to talk their language. So that's what communicating with that market is. There's a couple different ways of communicating that I like to take in my marketing approach on our Facebook and Instagram pages and things like that. There's really direct, salesy messaging, which sometimes is appropriate. This table design this month is on sale for X amount off. If you're interested, click the link below and we'll work up a free quote for you. It's very direct. It's very to the point. This is what we sell. This is how much we're selling it for. Let's talk. And then there's more branding focused marketing, is that we're playing to and we're communicating to the things that they care about. So it's not just like, hey, come buy our table, buy our table, buy our table, but it's like, hey, let's help you build a beautiful home by having a table that you love that you can build a family around. And that type of marketing, that type of messaging is going to resonate on a deeper level too. You have to figure out how to communicate, and then ultimately, once you get into those conversations, you need to know how to sell. So many people don't know how to sell. And it's one of those things that I think I was blessed with by being in some sales positions early on in my career before I really got into this, because I learned how to pull out objections of my potential clients, because a lot of times they're talking to you because they're interested in what you have to sell. But then there's going to be all these roadblocks that come up about price, about lead times, about quality, about, well, my husband, I don't know if he's going to go for it, about the money, right? There's all these different things that are going to come up. And so if you don't know how to navigate that and help solve problems on the fly in those sales conversations, you're going to have lots of opportunities, not a lot of sales, okay? So you got to do all that. And that's another thing that we also teach you inside the Woodworking Business Accelerator program, is basically our sales scripts for closing a really high percentage of people into high ticket products, furniture products. Hopefully this video has helped you strategize and think through the 5 essential things that you need to do as you're starting your woodworking business. So you're starting out, you're trying to get your feet wet, and you're looking for a pretty cost-effective solution to really learn a lot of the things that I'm talking about. I want you to check out the Handmade Hero Academy. Listen, you can get started today for as little as $47 a month, and you get instant access to everything inside the program. We're going to be teaching you how to run ads. We're going to be teaching you how to take great photos, great video, create a brand. We're going to teach you how to create your own Shopify website. We're going to show you how to do all that stuff. And if you will get in there and do it, you'll look up in 6 months and you'll have a $10,000 per month business. So with that being said, I love you guys. I hope that this has helped you, and I'll see you in the next video.